let's see. So let's start going through these picks and see. All right. So, um, can you see the picks too, Maladorn? Or I see. Yeah, we're in the same slot. Or okay.
I can see
All right. So you see
with
the
eyes
first reveal?
unclouded. Yes,
Excellent. Okay. So, we've got Dog Pyroblitz. First pick is Force 44. So,
that's kind of expected.
yep, no surprise there. The freaking premier mid laner of the league and just overall badass best performer. Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, I'm glad. None of our heads are going to explode. Force is picked where we expected to. All right. So let's move on to the second pick,
All right,
and that's going to be Bad Dragon's Glizzy is going to pick Untitled Meme. Interesting.
interesting.
Interesting. So Untitled Meme is registered as a bot. Um, so I'm going to put him. I'm going to put him where Glizzy is, and I think let's see. We'll put him. We'll put him. We'll put Untitled Bot mid. Because I think he doubles his mid, or I don't know. I'm not sure. They're doing something weird, but that is a really strange pick. I did not expect that at all.
I mean, it has to be for something besides AD carry, right?
Yeah. So Glizzy has flirted with playing mid, and I think that it's kind of been a meme for some of the other captains that he should be playing mid. Glizzy himself is a highly impactful player, but the ADC role right now is not super strong. Um,
Is this why they asked about the possibility of switching? Maybe they're going to do some position
yeah,
swapping, depending.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that might yeah, I think there might be some switching going on here. Um, so that's definitely a gamble. I think yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because I think if there's a role swap, like obviously like you have like a strategic advantage in drafting because it's harder to read, but at the same time you're in a role that you're not nearly as experienced in. So, are you going to perform at the same level that you would, versus your practiced role? So, um,
In a game with positions and specialties, I would probably pick a specialist first, but
yeah,
that's just me.
as would I. As would I. So, we'll see. I hope there's an emergent strategy with his draft that'll reveal itself. But that one definitely had scratcher for me. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we're moving on to third overall pick. We're still in the first round,
All right.
and let's see. Fairchamp Parth. He's gonna first pick Zeely. Nice, nice. Um, I am a little surprised that that a support did get a pick in the first round. Um, Not surprised that it's Zeely though. Zeely's like just freaking amazing. So yeah, I do get that. I am surprised it's a he went with a support in his first round. Um,
Well, if he is top, he's not considering, like Psy or Sup Bro.
true, true.
So maybe he has a little wiggle room in his plan for putting the team together.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah. So why not get the pick of the litter and grab Zeely?
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Okay, thank you. That makes sense now. Let's see. So my head almost exploded with Glizzy's pick, but you've stirred my brain. Okay, so we're on to Team Mid Diff, captained by Kyoto's Cloud, and his first pick, Huache. Nice choice, sir. Nice choice. Let's see. So Huache is going to go over to Team Mid Diff, and I think yeah, like as you said, like Kyoto's Cloud, he is a mid laner, so he's probably not as focused as on the solo lanes. And I think given the pool that's open right now, um, yeah, Hawachi's in the conversation for best pick, considering everything here. So,
For
um,
sure.
yeah, yeah, I think that's a smart pick. Um, yeah, I'm totally off though. I was estimating that people are just gonna snatch up the solo lanes first, but um, yeah, I dig it, man. Bot lane's getting some representation in the first round. Freaking
I know
ADCs,
people
and yeah.
are saying like 80 season this season, not kind of hit or miss in terms of effectiveness,
Hmm.
especially late game getting destroyed, but it's still an important lane.
Yeah, yeah. ADC 2021 memes be damned. People are going for packing the bot lane. So yeah, we get a support pick, two ADC picks in the first round. So that's great, awesome. Let's see. So the next pick. So we're going in snake order. So just so everybody knows, Team Dog got first pick, Bad Dragons got second pick, Fairchamp got third pick, and Mid Diff got fourth pick. And now we're going to snake backwards. So Mid Diff will get this next. So Mid Diff gets the first pick in the second round, and it goes, and then Fairchamp, Bad Dragons, and Dog. It just goes in reverse like a snaking order. Let's see. So, mid diff Kyoto's Cloud. His second pick is Psy out of the top lane. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. So I am surprised to see Psy go before Sepro SC. Um, but no, I think because we did talk about split pushing strategies.
Yes,
Kyoto's Cloud plays a lot of AD melee champs. Um,
there you go.
yeah, so he could be gunning for like a nice 1-3-1 comp. Um, because Sai is a really good split pusher. Kyoto's Cloud is also like he plays a lot of scary duelists that you don't want to fight 1v1. And I like that. I like that pick. Yeah, because then you've got like the top ADC covering the mid lane. Um, yeah, that's a really solid foundation. I like that. That's good. So we're gonna
I
move.
was going to ask what kind of mid laner to influence the pick to the 80 carry. Like if you're playing something that's going to be staying in lane all the time, like,
Hmm.
but if he's a duelist or he's a like an assassin type mid that could be roaming to those lanes, like feels like maybe he can cover the weaknesses.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, for sure. Because he plays like Yasuo, Yone, Irelia. I think he even plays a Kali too. Like basically any assassin that you're freaking terrified of that you don't want to see fed, like Kyoto's Cloud plays him. Um, yeah. So, and I think that it'll whenever he plays against Force 44, that's going to be a marquee matchup for sure. Because everybody's wanted to play against Force, and he's had a matchup against everybody except for Kyoto's Cloud. Um, so whenever those two clash, so mid diff and Team Dog will be, I think, the match of the week. Just even if not just to see those two mid laners clash. Um, yeah, but yeah, I like what he's got so far. Sai with Hwache, that's a good start. All right, so we're gonna go in the second round, third pick, and that's gonna go to or second pick, sorry, and that's Parth. He's going to pick Talia. Nice, nice. Okay, so it goes for his mid laner. Let's see, and he gets Talia. I think yeah, because Force 44 is picked up, and it was only Talia, Dennis, and Akali player three. So I think yeah, Talia was probably the safest pick. Um, because I think I want to say Haha Arki. He's a really really good top laner. We haven't seen him versus Supro SC yet. Um, but he is anytime he's come top in any of the mixed games, he's just annihilated his opponent. But he is a volatile player though. Um, so he's kind of similar to Troll, where he can have just gigantic explosive games, or just everything just goes sideways, and it's just there's no recovering from it. So having a consistent player like Talia in the mid lane, who's not gonna who's always gonna be at the right place at the right time. She's gonna pick her fight smartly. She having her be the rock of the center of his team. I think that's a smart pick. Um, yeah, you need a little bit of balance in your team comp. You don't. You know, I'm sure in the times you played bot lane where both of you have the exact same personality doesn't always work. Um, like you can't have two passive laners working in the same lane. You can't have two aggro laners working in the same lane because you both will make the same mistakes. I think it's good to have um, somebody to kind of temper your tendencies a little bit.
yeah, that's a good point. Generally, I like to play, like kind of by the numbers, consistent. Um, it's what like the siege comp. You're
Hmm.
you're just you're getting those objectives and stuff, but you still kind of want to have like that one aggro. player on your team that is going to be making plays or pushing or questioning some of the shots that can you get this kind of, because like if everybody on the team is like super passive, yeah, but having a good spread of players on the team is, I think, is a good choice.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Because if you get too many aggro players, it turns into that like the daisy chain river of people diving one after the other into a bad fight. And you're just like one guy goes and everybody responds, not one guy goes, then one guy goes, and one guy goes. But I digress. We'll move on to the next pick. Um, so we're in the second round. For the third pick, we're going to do Glizzy is going to pick up Sterling Ash. Sterling Ash. Okay. So he's grabbing a support. He is going to. Let's see. Did I get that? So we haven't seen a ton of Sterling, but he plays a pretty good mix of champs. I've seen him play. I think I've seen him play a bunch of. Let me double check real quick. I think I've seen him play. Oh, I get confused between him and which one of them plays a lot of Rel. I'm gonna double check real quick. Um,
That must have been games I didn't see.
yeah, yeah. Because Sterling Ash has also filled in at top a couple times. So he's been really really helpful with that. But let's see. Yeah, I think he is.
Looks like he played Morgana.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did. Yeah. Um. So I think let's see. It's interesting. Okay. So I want to say let's see. So I know that Glizzy has oh that's right, that's right. Okay, I was confusing him with Elcrest. Plays Rel, not Sterling. So Sterling I know has some play history with Glizzy, but I did not see enough of him in the tournament to really get a huge sense of his play style. So yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, yeah, Glizzy. I don't know what kind of team Glizzy's putting together. He's got something planned, quite intentional. But yeah, I'm still yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Come close to making my head explode, but we'll see.
Did they play together in that best of five that last game that went on for
I
like close to an hour?
Yeah, I think so. Um, yeah, yeah, I think so. And I know that Sterling is a super communicative player in comms, and which is not very common in this pool. A lot of these players they don't quite like know each other super well, or if they do, then they have like the rapport to talk. But the newer players, yeah, they're still kind of getting their feel with the comms. Some of the new players don't even have comms yet. They're listening, but they don't have mics. So, um,
Oy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Which
Just pings. Use pings, man.
just pings,
Like,
yeah, yeah. That's the case with Sai. I don't think Sai talks. I don't think he has a mic, but he's just a split pusher, and you already know what he's gonna do. So just play around that, I guess. But um, yeah, I know Sterling has rapport with Glizzy, so I think that might be what he's looking at. Because I think, for me personally, the rapport goes a long way, especially if it's the ADC and support. Like once you know each other's styles and can play around each other, like that sort of thing is pretty invaluable. Because it just saves up a lot on the comms. Like you don't have to talk nearly as much because you know what the other person's going to do. So
yeah, you
um,
don't even need comms at that point. You're
yeah,
already the same wavelength. So yeah.
yeah. I know my ADC partner, like, he knows when I'm about to dive before I'm about to dive, and he tells me to not dive. So, those types of moments are very appreciated. It keeps you out of trouble sometimes. Okay.
You go a little crazy sometimes.
I do go a little crazy.
Yeah.
I do go a little crazy, and like he'll see me edging towards, he's like, "Don't flash for it." I'm like, "Oh, how'd you? Okay, I thought I was thinking about flash. Okay, never mind." Yeah, yeah, he's in my head, so he's got trouble. Yeah. So let's go to Team Dog and Pyroblitz Supro SC. Wow. Okay. So, you have anything to say about that? Anything jump out at you?
I'm just surprised that he got both of them. In all honesty, so
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if it wrapped around like that, like they got the picks. Okay, all right.
Yeah. He got how many picks? One, two, three, four, five, six. 6 picks. He gets Force 44, 6 picks pass, and he gets Supro SC. Holy shit, dude! What the? Wow! I don't. I don't. Okay, so that snuck up on me because I'm taking time to like analyze like each of these picks like granularly. But somebody had to look at the pool of players and see Supro SC was there, and then choose somebody else 6 times. Um,
Yeah,
so that's pretty damn scary. Uh,
maybe they're just like, we're just going to permaban Darius like every single game. Like
oh man,
that's the tax.
that's
That's
the
the tax that
tax.
you pay
Yeah,
by not picking that
yeah,
person and putting
yeah.
them on your team.
You're okay having an auto ban every single game. You're short one ban like every time. That is freaking nuts. So now Team Dog is looking at like so play just out of the gate at the start, your two bans are committed to Yasuo and Darius before you even like talk about what sort of composition Team Dog is looking at. Um, that's unreal. And the fact that like their team captain is Pyro, a support player, means that he is like the captains typically are higher skilled than the players here, and so you know. Uh, Pound for pound on paper, Pyro is like one of the top supports here, and having that in the bot lane plus arguably two of the best soul laners in the pool is wow. I feel like he just made out with a gigantic sack of money and smoking a cigar and the freaking cops are looking the other way or having a donut or something, man. Like how the that is okay. All right.
Well, that's not all because what, he gets another pick now. Yeah,
Oh my god.
let's see.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yep. He gets the first round third pick and he gets Hey, I'm lazy. Nice. So we'll put him in jungle for now until Pyro moves him, or until we see a different pick from there. Um, but if that's Hey I'm Lazy in the bot lane, uh,
Yeah,
he's oh my god, dude, yeah. Um, so you have arguably the two best soul laners, and then Hey I'm Lazy, who could be considered like the second best bot. Like we haven't the only thing I'm going off of is that like Anna Gamer Girl I've seen and I know that she plays a lot of ADCs. I haven't seen Hey I'm Lazy play any other ADCs besides Ezreal.
he
Um,
did play Kaisa, I thought
oh, that's right,
once.
that's right. He did. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah. So like he knows the role well. And I mean, even if it's just for the Ezreal, now when you play Team Dog, you have to ban Darius, you have to ban Yasuo, and you have to ban Ezreal. So like you can't. Oh my god, dude! Wow, that's yeah. Pyro did his homework here. Um, I I don't know if he would have planned for this to happen for Sephiroth SC to land in his lap like this. On top of getting force, but
I mean, if you
okay.
got the first pick,
You
like
got the
it's
first
kind of
pick,
a
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and that's why the snaking draft is there to kind of penalize. Like you get the best player in the pool, so you've got to wait 6 picks before you get your second crack at somebody. And just like the clouds open up and a rainbow pierces through, and down comes Supro SC into Pyro's waiting hands. My God, I I do not know what has been created here, but I am fucking terrified of it. Um, Wow. Okay. That's well done. Well done. Okay, we'll just move on. Holy crap. Okay. Uh so we'll move on to Bad Dragons
Okay.
getting their third round pick and they're going to go for Ocean Soul. All right. So Ocean Soul we've seen him a little bit. He hasn't played too many of the games, but he's had a pretty decent poppy. God, I cannot remember what other champs he's been on. I feel like Poppy is his go-to. Um, that's definitely his main champ. I don't
Was he playing in the these ex uh what the fuck do you call these?
the Scouting
Uh,
Grounds games or
yeah, yeah. I or was that the one like the best of five? Because I'm
he
thinking
he was in
him
the
and
best of
Jake.
five,
Okay, I
and
remember
then
seeing the poppy.
yeah, he's in the best of five, and then he was also in a couple of the Scouting Grounds games, but I only think he was in like maybe 3 or 4 games total. But he did play Poppy, and I think okay, so I think I think what's happening with Bad Dragons is that they're going for rapport and familiarity, like personal familiarity. So one thing that is here that I see is that there is a ton of personality synergy, which is kind of like the golden goose for most teams. Um,
Yes.
because you've got teams that typically come together because like, oh yeah, we're all skilled players, we're all good, so we like winning, so we're gonna play. Versus like, oh yeah, like I love playing with this guy, I have fun, even when I'm losing, I'm still having a good time, so like I want to play with them. Um, so there is a lot of value in that. You're like you're not gonna tilt. Um, you're gonna learn faster because you're having fun, and people are going to feel more comfortable having like open conversations about like what sort of strategies they want to use and stuff. So um, yeah, I think oh yeah, okay. So looking here, he's also played Poppy, or sorry, he's also played
Looks like
Shyvana and Vi.
Sejuani or
Yeah,
Sejuani.
yeah, and Fiddlesticks too. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So he's had so he's got those champs under his belt too. So yeah, so what it looks like is that Bad Dragons is definitely going for personality synergy and rapport, which I think is a viable strategy.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah.
I have to say, when as much as this game can put a strain on your friendships, it is a lot of fun to be playing with people that you actually enjoy playing the game with and can get along. I remember when we were doing some of these scrims so back in the day, and we'd be swapping into different teams. Be times where I'd be put on a team with like I just could not stand the players on the team, and I know that it affected like how I played the game.
No, it
So
does. Yeah.
yeah, it's like sure we won, but like at what cost? Like
Hmm.
I can't even stand to be around these people. So if you got like a rapport and a synergy and it's strong enough to withstand the toxicity of League of Legends, like more power to you.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's all you can ask for. If you get stuck in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, like you want your friends, like, it's yeah, you got to make hell bearable somehow. So, yeah, I could see that. That totally makes sense. Yeah, and like when you're playing with people that you don't necessarily like enjoy their company, the game at a competitive level, it does start to feel like a job. Um, because you're trying really hard, and you may not be getting feedback in the way that like you appreciate. And so yeah, it's harder if you're not having a good time. It's always harder to learn when you're not having a good time. Um so I think this synergy approach is going to give them a huge amount of upside, and if they take advantage of the coaching resources available to them, um, they could make really fast improvements. I don't know how much time they have to do that, because we are going to do, after the draft is selected, we're going to have a week, maybe 2 weeks of scrims before we're actually enter the round robin. So they'll have to up their game pretty quickly, I think. But now is the time to do that, and they'll be able to get all those scrim games in and build up that synergy and start to develop their strategies. So um, yeah, we'll see. I appreciate Glizzy's approach here, and I think it's awesome that he's going an unusual route here. So props to that. I respect that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, if they are all on the same page and want to put in the same amount of effort to improving and using the coach's resources, then I could see this being uh, a winning strategy.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
all willing to work at the same level to up their game.
yeah. I'm psyched. I'm interested to see them. I think they're going to be the dark horse of the teams. Um, yeah. The bad news bears, if you will. God, that reference is old. Never mind. Okay. Don't Google bad news bears. Uh,
I'm aware, but that's also because
yeah.
we're fossils at this point. So
Yes. Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to Haha Arky Team Fair Champ. Their pick is going to be Anna Gamer Girl.
makes
Nice.
sense.
Nice. Makes sense. Also, Anna Gamer Girl, the other positive is that she has a lot of playtime with Zeely, so they already have that natural synergy there. Um, Super solid bot lane. Um, that's a bot lane you can rely on, that can carry, that won't fall behind. Yeah. I like that combination. Getting Anna with Zeely, that's a really really nice choice. So um, yeah, not much to say because they're both good. So yeah,
It's a 2 for 1, and yeah,
yeah, I like that. Let's see. So let's go on to Team Mid Diff for Kyoto's Cloud. His third pick is just trolling. All right. So troll gets picked up. He is the third jungle to get grabbed, and I like this pick because I think out of all the junglers here, Kyoto's Cloud has played with just trolling more than anybody. Um, they've been long time teammates for a while. So they both know each other's play patterns. They both know each other's styles. They're familiar. They're good friends. So I think that that's a really good pick, just all around. I am a little bit worried about how volatile those three players can be together. Um, but Huache is, I think she's going to be the rock for that team. Um, it's just if I could give any team a nickname, Team Mid Diff would be like the team of critical hits. Like they're gonna roll the dice. If they crit you, you're fucking dead. And
I
there's
mean,
not.
you don't need. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say you don't need crowd control. Like the best crowd control is death. So like if you just
Yeah,
kill them, like you don't like yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah. Just
don't lose, just win,
hmm
just do damage, and don't worry about getting behind.
Yeah, yeah. Just yeah, win your lanes, get the gold, do the damage. Don't worry about objectives. Just take the towers while they're busy trying to kill Baron. Yeah, yeah, super. Yeah, yeah. That is team crit hit if there was one ever. That's just yeah. That's so much volatility. I like it. They're gonna be exciting to watch. Like, um, yeah, they'll be like the LPL teams of old. We're just like constantly fighting, constantly just like doesn't freaking matter. You're behind, you're ahead. You're gonna fight, fight. Like, there's just so much confidence on that team between like Wache, Kyoto, Sai. Like they personality wise, like they want to fight. Um, they're not threatened by anybody in this league. They're going to go out of their way to prove that they are the best at their respective roles. And anybody that tries to challenge it, they're going to get tested. So um, yeah, I think that's going to Team Crit Hit is going to be the most fun to watch. I think yeah, that's a great pick.
With that kind of dynamic, like I'm excited. Like you said, I think it will be some interesting watching. Like during the proving grounds and stuff, we didn't get to see a ton of like cohesive 5-man team, like 5-on-5 team fights. Like there are a handful.
hmm
So with a group like that, do you think that they are going to lean towards like a team fight comp with their champions, or are we still going to see kind of like these solo lane type?
I think strategically, Pyro will opt into team fights when he wants to. I think he's got options. He's got so many options with the strength of his solo laners. Um, but I think like he can get really crafty in draft. But I think typically he's going to want to play a controlled game. Um, and a team like Team Mid Diff, they are going to want to keep the fights like small, keep the game scrappy, just like constant fights, constant like no team fights, just 2v2s, 1v1s, 3v3s at most. Crazy invades, uh, freaking tower diving as an ADC and flashing out and healing to get away. Like, um, I think, yeah, I think they're the team that's going to be the scrappiest. Sai's going to invite 1v2s, so will Kyoto. Troll's going to go for sneak objectives. Um, that I think, yeah,
I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. Now that like each individual player's like performance, like yeah, it makes sense. It makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. Like Kyoto's definitely like drafting people that fit his mental playstyle, which is freaking great. Like I love it. I'm here for it. Um, yeah,
So I guess we're gonna see who the support is now.
yeah. Let's see. Let's move on to the next pick, and Kyoto's Cloud picks Atsu. Let's see. So I didn't talk about Atsu too much. She was a really solidly performing support, but she was only available to play for I think 2 games. Um, she did really really well, and if I remember correctly, I think she was paired with Huache. Um, and I think they had a super dominant performance. So yeah, unfortunately, my own personal ignorance is kicking in here. I believe that they have Huache and Atsu have experience together, and I think that they know each other's playstyles really well. At least that's what they had played like from the 2 matches that I had seen them together in. Um,
Gotcha. I didn't see anything, so I can't really say.
Yeah. Super yeah, but yeah, if my estimation is correct, that probably they probably have the strongest they definitely I feel like they have the strongest bot lane right now. Those two together. Uh Gamer Girl and Zeely definitely gonna give them run for their money. But I think in terms of like just straight lane dominance and aggression, um those two, yeah, Hwache and Otsu will be up at the top of that. But yeah, that's just playing into like Kyoto's just hyper aggressive team composition. I really I like the roster he's put together. Um, yeah, I think like while Glizzy is kind of like drafting for team cohesion, like Kyoto's drafting for like team style. Um, yeah, he's just going specialist all the way. Like freaking team of snipers, team of rogues, assassins, whatever you want to call them, like they're all there to kill. I love it. It's that's yeah, they're going to be a real fun team to watch. I think. Let's see. All right, so we're going off to Parth, and his final pick is going to be Super Saiyan. Nice, good choice. I'm honestly surprised Super Saiyan got picked this late in the draft. He's had really good performances. At least at the first half of the scouting grounds. But that's a steal getting Super Saiyan. Being able to like draft him last, that's crazy good. Um, yeah, because I think I would give him like top two jungler out of everybody in the entire pool, if not the best. Um, and he has a must draft Udyr, so I think
Yes.
yeah, yeah, you have to draft. Yeah, you have to ban his Udyr. Yeah.
I'm
um,
also surprised that the jungles got picked a bit later.
yeah, because I think like
It,
because the soul lanes are so kind of critical and pivotal here. Like I would assume jungle would be the next role to like kind of get prioritized. Yeah.
but how impactful like jungle is as a position, like it it can cover a lot of weaknesses as
Mhm.
well as just like okay, so you have this dominant solar laner in this particular lane, and you think that you need that. Like the jungler can put pressure there. Like
Mhm.
that's their job, man.
Yeah, there that is, and if they yeah, and the jungler can tilt. I mean, the jungler can not only have the jungler not only has option if you are the better jungler of the two, you can like pressure the hell of the opposing jungler. But yeah, you can tilt the lane in the direction of your own team. So I think yeah, having like a really solid that's a good matchup. Yeah, because Talia's a really she's a very solid laner. She doesn't she's not overly aggressive. She's not going to go for a kill unless like it presents itself, unless like somebody missteps, and then she'll go in for the kill. Um, but Super Saiyan, he's a playmaker. He's going to create opportunities for Talia. And I think for Parth up top, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If Parth will accept Super Saiyan's help, which I hope he does, he could wreak a lot of havoc up top. Um, yeah, so I really like that pick, but I am surprised that Super Saiyan has gone this late in the draft. Because I had him picked for probably like top jungler, first jungle to get picked. That's what I thought was going to happen. So, um,
I mean, I love having Uter on my
mhm,
team.
mhm,
Um, yeah, like it's not just a game of I'm a top lane versus top laner. I'm a mid. Like that is the unknown factor.
mhm,
The jungle coming in and helping get you that edge to get the kill, or at least get them out of lane
yeah,
to get you ahead. Like it's an important. So yeah, I'm also surprised that it took this long. But
yeah. So yeah, huge steal, huge value pick right there. Getting him last. That's yeah.
he comes in like a missile and he fucking stuns dudes. Like
Mhm.
get him in your team.
Yeah, his jungle's nasty. Yeah, so that's definitely like a must ban. Like now that Team Fair Champs got like you've got to ban his Udyr and now you have to ban the Vel'Koz. Um, yeah. I don't know if they're gonna keep banning Parse Mord. His Mord's pretty scary, but he plays a bunch of stuff, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, good solid team all around. I like that. I feel like out of the four, probably Team Fair Champ looks like to be the most consistent. I think that their their players are always going to be in the game. I don't see that game. I don't see that team getting shut out really hard. I see them being able to grind out like a lot of games over time. Just because I don't think they're going to give up a lot of kills early on. Um, yeah, yeah. So let's see. Team Bad Dragons and Glizzy grabs Dennis Sober. Nice. All right. Let's move him over there. So that could mean that Dennis Sober is either top or mid. Um, man, I don't know.
Is this team like water, like fluid, and just swapping positions?
Yeah.
Or am I like not understanding that some of these people, their original role that they signed up for might not be what they're necessarily being picked
No,
for?
I think your metaphor is apt. Like I think yeah, I think Team Water is like a really good nickname for them because they have a lot of versatility. Um, no, I mean like you said, like I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so who am I predicting to ban where? Um,
Yeah, I mean Vlad can go top, Vlad can
yeah,
go mid, but
yeah,
what if they ban Vlad? I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Like, does that mean Dennis just takes Camille top, or is he still going to play mid? Because he's a mid laner by trade, but he does have top laners in his pool. Um, I think Untitled Meme also plays mid laners, so but he also plays bot, and then uh, Glizzy
And
has
then you were saying, yeah, like if he goes, like there's a lot of overlap. This cross training is good. I don't
yeah.
know if it's going to be great for the tournament if you can't like practice everything.
That is the yeah that's a good point. Yeah, you could stretch yourselves too thin. Because I've played with Glizzy tons of times, and I've always suggested like, oh my god, like dude, like you'd make a crazy good soul laner. Like and he'd play Cassiopeia bot lane. I think we even did an Orianna bot lane. Just messing around, and I think, he could potentially like swap to mid in a game or two with Cassiopeia or something, or he could just take Cassio bot lane. Even if he drafts her, you don't know if that's a bot cast or a mid. I don't know. Yeah, like there's a lot of question marks around. I mean, that's yeah. You're right, man. Team Water is like the name for these guys because I have no clue where any of these guys are going. Sterling Ash, he even
Neither do
plays
I.
top too. Like yeah, what the hell? Yeah, these guys are like a freaking question mark enigma, man. Like, because Sterling also plays top, so man, I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, yeah, this
I
is
don't know
like,
how like generalists. I don't know if generalist is the term, but like if you're going up against somebody that like lives in that lane and that's their role, um,
he was born in the darkness. Yeah,
I
man.
guess like
Yeah, like how do you
see
fight
how it
somebody
goes
born?
out.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Batman can't fight Bane because Bane is born in the darkness. So like, that is the good that is the test really of these guys is like will the utility be able to match up to the hard specialization of the other teams?
I
Um,
guess they have to lean into the fact that they have some like past experience or a good dynamic, and like it's a team game, so
hmm
like the team's gonna have to make it work. I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like yeah, this is really manifesting very much along the lines of these captains' wishes, which is great. Um, because you've got Kyoto's Cloud with a really, really aggressive team. You've got Haha Arki with just a super solid, consistent, safe, grindy team. And then yeah, you've got Bad Dragons, like the water team, which is they're just yeah, I don't know, I really don't know. So like, there's really like distinct poles of strength that each of these different teams have. So like they're very, very different. Yeah, they were not going. Yeah, there's definitely qualities that each of these captains are going for. So, um, yeah, uh, Team Bad Dragons, I have no idea what you're doing, but I am very curious of what manifests. I am highly interested. Um, yeah, in what pans out. So, yeah, I just need to give them a big. Their logo should be a giant question mark, but we'll see. Yeah. So, we are on to our final pick of the draft. And oh, geez, how did this guy get left open? We've got Tomato Paste 64 going over to Team Dog. How the hell? Wow. Okay. So, um, so Tomato Paste, phenomenal mid laner, but he also plays bot. And he's one of those few players that plays like, I mean, I've not, I don't, he has not had very many bad games, if any, at all. So that is a huge steal, at on turn or the last pick. Yeah, really really good choice. Man, on paper,
It's stacked, dude. Yeah,
super stacked, real stacked. Yeah, yeah. Pyro just like he. I don't know if he had a plan for this or if he just, like you could be some crazy mastermind that like figures that like you're gonna get both Supro and Force and Tomato Paste and Ham Lazy, uh, or you could just be like a freaking chessbot master level AI that just like automatically understands like that's the best pick. You've left that open. You've left that open, and just take everything. You're right, man. That team is freaking stacked. Yeah. I was, and one of the things that I was kind of like concerned about too is that Pyro being the only captain that's a support, his team, he might be hurting for picks, for power picks, because he's got to technically like, Kyoto's Cloud has mid, Haha Arki has top, so like those two have half their solo lane solved. Um,
yeah.
and so I thought like, okay, so Pyro's going to be kind of behind the tempo of the draft because he's got to draft two solo laners, but like he's put together a nasty team, man. Like that's like God, that oh man. Uh, I I don't know. I don't like calling stuff early, but like that looks like the A plus of the draft to me. Um, like I I feel like the expectations if he it's kind of one of those expectations of like the top LCK teams in China where like if they don't make it to finals that's a total failure. Um, like these they've they need to make it to finals. Like uh man, I mean like on paper, paper is a different story than actual like in-game execution, but like
Sure.
that's just man. I mean, because as we're gonna, as we're making our way through the round robin, we're gonna hold like voting uh, in between each game for people who think should join the All Star team for the HGT All Stars. Because there's gonna be a show match at the end between like two teams comprised of like people who vote who the best players are for their respective roles. Um, his team looks like what the All Star team would look like right now. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad you kind of like. I was gonna say, from watching those proving ground matches, like every single person on his team, like there was a standout like example of like, holy shit, like this dude knows what's up
mm-hmm,
in their games.
mm-hmm,
And I know that those games weren't necessarily for the win or the lose. It was to show like what do you do when you're behind? What do you do when you're against a not ideal matchup? Like
yeah, yeah,
those are solid players, and it could arguably be like the all stars from the proving grounds.
yeah.
So it's just kind of weird that they all ended up on the same team.
Kind of weird. Yeah, for real, dude. Like, oh my god. Wow. Yeah. Um that's yeah, that is nuts. Uh yeah, props to Pyro for an amazing draft. Yeah, I think yeah, I think there's definitely like we've got a clear favorite. Um but yeah, I'm really it'll be a test to see. What he can do with that team. I yeah, it's so it's that's nuts. That's really nuts. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, do you have any predictions as to which teams you think might end up in the finals? Because it'll be two teams, obviously, but um, it's kind of hard to judge though.
It is not having seen a ton of games from all the individual players. Um, on paper, Team Dog, like you said, like if they don't make it to it, it's probably an upset. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I am a fan of consistency and kind of a bedrock kind of thing. So I'm kind of looking at Team FC
Mm-hmm.
also because they have Vel'Koz pretty much on demand. I have no idea with Bad Dragon because I haven't seen a ton of those players
Mm-hmm.
play or a lot of the matches. We don't even know who is playing like what position, so it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I and like you said, mid difference. I think those are going to be exciting games, and if they are ahead, it's just going to be like a slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to like you put a gun to my head and see who's going to make it to the finals, probably Team Dog, Team FC.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm inclined to agree too. Yeah, because I think like yeah, the consistency. I think they have the most consistent players on those teams. Um, you know, but yeah, like a lot of it, yeah, yeah, and there's so like yeah, with Bad Dragon and mid diff, like there's so much ground that they'll kind of need to cover. More so with Bad Dragon than mid diff. I think mid diff is gonna have to learn how to temper their aggression. Um, and I think they'll probably need. I think it's probably going to test like the shot calling ability of Troll and Hwache. Hwache is like highly vocal for an ADC. Um, she's talking in the draft. She knows the matchups. She knows the bans. And Troll, like we've seen, is like really good at snaking objectives and stuff, and like setting up for objectives. But I think it's and you and I know like we've had like ADC shot callers before. It's really hard and it's really taxing.
Yeah,
And so while I'm 100% confident that Huache could shot call, um, it's just you cannot take that attention away from her. She's got farm to catch. She needs to keep XP up. She's got to get her kills and get her freaking highlight reel ash arrows across the map. She's doing she's doing so many things. So, hopefully Team MD can keep some of that loaded off of her. Um, because
it
she.
makes.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say that makes a little more sense now. If you're saying that she's like calling shots, that she has that awareness that she is like seeing what's going on and shooting those arrows into those things that are going on across the map. Like, um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it is difficult to shot call on an ADC
yeah.
versus like another position like a jungler or support where you have a little bit of space to be able to be looking around the map where you're not like, oh shit, like I missed out, I'm dead,
Mhm.
like I.
Yeah. And I think her communication style will improve Kyoto's cloud style because, Huache is really good about, giving the team her status. Like I can fight, I need to go back, I need just like 150 gold, whatever. She's like informing the team of the power spikes, when she's ready to fight, all that stuff. And so like I think that sort of information feed could help her aggressive teammates uh, be mindful of like where their power spikes are versus their opponents. Um, and I think if they could temper that aggression and like make it like really smart, calculated aggression, they could like blow a hole through some of the other teams. Um, so I think like I agree with you. I think Team Dog and Team Fairchamp are the two favorites. But both BD and MD can make up ground and be just as competitive if they can kind of like find their find their footing, find their specialties, and make them into make them into like really calculated aggression or very calculated fluid what metamorphosizing team comps on the fly. um yeah, I don't know, it's yeah, these are good teams, these are really good teams. um I'm really excited to see how they match up against each other because too, like the other thing also is that While you've got teams on paper that are really good, a lot of it's about the matchups. Um, people's champion pools versus other people's champion pools. Um, I think we had a game where Dennis Sober was on Vladimir against a super hyper aggressive opponent, and normally that guy would have like beaten anybody, but like Dennis just like outlasted him, outsustained him, and turned that aggression around on him. So I think matchups are going to be a key role. You might see one team has the other team's number. Um, like team mid diff may like be so aggressive that they just like run over somebody, but then another team that's like a little bit more stalwart, like maybe free champ might, fair champ might give them a harder time. So um, I don't know. It's yeah. I think this is going to be a really exciting. I'm excited to see the scrims, and I think the round robin will illuminate a lot of things, a lot of differences between the teams, and see who's really got the favorite to come out on top in the end. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to like judging the teams like before they're even like formed and we know all this stuff. But yeah, on paper, like you can look at it and see these some of these outliers or things that probably going to have to address in their training. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited to see these games. It's coming from somebody that hasn't really kept their finger on the pulse of league for some time. And the other side of the picture that we're not seeing is what are the what champions do they have to select from, and what are they going to kind of like build their team comp around? That with the team Bad Dragons, like if they are going to be able to swap players into different roles, they could have like a huge selection of champions. But
Hmm.
if they don't have a chance to practice those situations as a team, like this is what our comp is going to be, or we're going to be using this guy and this thing. Like I could see that backfiring at some point as well.
Yeah, it could. You might be biting off too much more than you could chew there. Um,
Especially under the stress of like tournament matches and stuff.
hmm. Yeah, and and I can appreciate that. Like every single board game I play, I try some bonkers ass strategy that nobody else will, and sometimes it works spectacularly. Sometimes you just fall on your face. So um, we'll
and that's
see.
why I go with consistency.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But if anybody could do it, it's definitely Glizzy. The guy's a mastermind strategist, and I think, yeah, I'm curious to see how his gamble pays off. I think they're definitely worth keeping an eye on. So all these teams are, but yeah, Glizzy's got my interest from a different angle. Yeah, yeah, nice. Um, I think I've talked about every single angle of these different. Do you have anything else? Is anything else jumping at you right now, or
Nah, like
okay. Nice,
at this
nice.
point, we've done all we can. It's out of our
Yes.
hands now. Now we get to see
Yeah.
what grows from your homegrown tomatoes.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me, man. It's always fun to talk with you and like talk league and stuff, and it's just yeah, it's this tournament has renewed my interest so much, and it's just fun to see these players get together and like showcase their skills and like evaluate stuff with you. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. Always fun to hang out with you, man.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, cool. So with that, that'll be the end of our draft show, and then moving forward, we are going to go into our scrim week. We may extend it an extra week depending on how many games people play, but yeah, that'll be the time for you to kind of like shake the cobwebs off, get to know your teammates, and start formulating your strategies and trying out new things. So yeah, looking forward to that, and yeah, we'll see you on the Rift. Thanks, guys.